How's it going, Nintendo Buzz? I got a 5th gen match for you today versus, I believe it was a Rank 23 for my live stream. I actually took this match not even a day ago, and it was actually a great match. I'm using some 5th gen stuff, I'm using some 4th gen stuff with some new toys, and he is doing the same. So let's go ahead and get this started. He's got a Weezing, and I've got a Scarf Wargle, Scarf Braviary, excuse me. I happen to be stuck on the Japanese name of Wargle, because I think it's better fitting. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and U-turn out, get some damage in, also get some scouting going on. So I go to my Victini, my special Victini, so I can take the Will-O-Wisp, but he actually makes a safe play, goes for the Thunderbolt, because he knows that I can't really touch him with Wargle anyways. So T-Bolt is actually going to end up being a pretty safe play on just about anything. Unfortunately, he does get the 10% paralysis chance there, as he switches, well, not as he does it, he decides to go out to Rank23 afterwards to take the fairly obvious Psychic. Doesn't really do that much. Rank23 resists, and he's got a great special defense. And now that I'm paralyzed, I am fearing the Shadow Ball, so I'm going to switch out, but he actually predicts that I'm going to switch out, goes to his Porygon 2. I guess predicts me to go out to something, excuse me, something physical. And this Porygon 2 does have the Eviolite, which is the Evolution Stone, in case you're not familiar with it. It's an item that you put on anything that isn't fully evolved, and it boosts its defense and special defense by 50%. I believe I'm also using something on this team with that as well, so you guys will get to see that in a bit. But in the meantime, I brought in Wargle, went for the U-turn, and then I went out to Victini because, I don't know, I didn't want to... I actually don't know. I thought maybe I was going to get... T-Wave, but he actually went for the Toxic, is probably my mindset there, but then I think he just used Discharge, or he's going to use it now, something like that. Okay, well, whatever the case, he goes for it now, as I go into my Mimi, my Mienshao, my Kajando, my Mimi, and he switches out and goes to Weezing, as I decide to go for the High Jump Kick. Now, High Jump Kick is notorious for missing on me. I always get the worst luck with this. It has 90% accuracy. But it hits the Weezing, doesn't really do that much. It's stab, but he resists. And I'm just going to go for a U-turn, get some damage, make sure he doesn't get leftovers that turn. Now I'm taking Life Orb damage, so that doesn't really seem like a good idea, but I have the ability Regenerator, which means that I get 30% of my health back upon switching out, which is nice. And I decide to U-turn out as well, and I go to my Nidoking to take the Will-O-Wisp. Now, that seems like kind of a weird play, like why didn't I go to Victini? Well, I actually know I can hit Weezing way harder with Nidoking because this is a special Nidoking. Not special as in unique, special as in special attacking. It has the ability, what is it, Sheer Force, I think that is in English. And what it basically does is it boosts up special moves powers. Not special, excuse me. Anything with a secondary effect, it takes off the effect, but it boosts the power of it by 30%. So it's a built-in Life Orb. And also, if you have a Life Orb equipped, it takes off the Life Orb recoil. Now, I don't know if that was a developing mistake, but it makes Special Nidoking a very viable option this generation. Gives him some nice toys there. But I predict the Earthquake, which is fairly obvious coming from a Randarosu. It looks like he's Scarfed anyway, so he's going to have to switch out. And he brings in Weezing again on my return. This actually turns out to be a crit, which is really nice to see Weezing gone so early. I'm thinking it didn't really matter too much in the long run because Nidoking would probably be able to hit KO it anyway, and I could take a Fire Blast if it had one. But in the meantime, he goes back out to Randarosu as I go into Nidoking to take the fairly obvious Stone Edge. There's not really much of a reason he'd bring in a Randarosu against a Scarf Wargle unless he himself was Scarfed in the first place, which was, you know, that tends to be what everyone does with Randarosu. Landlos, there you go. So I actually predict the switch, because I don't think he's going to want to go for the Stone Edge. I don't know why I made that out to be way bigger than it was. But the Earth Power actually turns out to be a crit as well. But he has the Sturdy, so it more than likely would have ended up being a 2-hit KO. It actually, no, you know what? It would have been a 2-hit KO regardless. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know how much Earth Power would have done initially. Like, if it was going to be overkill, or if it was, like, right around that amount of money. But I go for the Ice Beam, predicting the Randarosu switch in for whatever reason, and it's enough to take him out, so it's whatever. Nidoking has also reached the limit of its use right here as he brings in an Infernape, which I think actually ends up being a... No, it's not a Choice Bander, I remember this. Because I bring in my Scyther, And this is an Eviolite Scyther with Bug Bite and Aerial Ace both getting Technician, and it's also got Roost and Swords Dance, so Eviolite helps it out with its bulk, which is, you know, it's very nice. And he actually has a mid-game Focus Sash, and he's also got Endeavor going for him as well. So he can Endeavor me down to 1 health. I'll be able to kill him, but he has Mach Punch there, you know, to pick off anything, I guess anything that's going to be faster than him as well. So, thankfully, I end up living this with 1, but he brings in his Randarosu again, so Scyther really doesn't get to shine that much in this match. I decide to leave it in as fodder, decide to see what he locks himself in on. He actually goes for the U-turn. Really thinking about it, since he's choiced, I actually would have had the initiative no matter what, since I do have a resistance or immunity to anything that he would have done. So he goes out to his Porygon 2. I take this opportunity to go into Mimi, and because this thing has Trace, I actually give it Regenerator. So I think this thing actually ends up getting health when it switches out, which is like a dope moment. Why would I do that, you know? And I predict the Randarosu switch in actually because you know, he's got Regenerator. It's a free bit of health, and he's not gonna take that much from the Stone Edge. But at the same time, I was thinking, you know, I don't really know what I was thinking, to be honest. It was kind of a bad play. But he gets a discharge. He gets a discharge paralysis. Actually ends up killing me instead of going for the recover, which is actually very nice because that means I can come in and I can hit it with a return, which is gonna be you know, that's going to be the end of that Porygon too, and there's a little thorn out of my side. Anyways, he goes back out to Randarosu, and I have this and one other thing left, so what he locks himself in on right now is going to determine how the game's going to go. He chooses Stone Edge, and, you know, that's really the only thing he could have done to hit me with. And I'm going to go into Omastar knowing that I can take a Not Stab Scarf Stone Edge. It's probably going to take 2 or 3 of those to end up killing me anyway. But Omastar gets Shell Break. Unfortunately, you weren't able to see it in this match, but Omastar is a very viable option. So I'm just actually going to go ahead and take that Stone Edge and just Ice Beam it, and I believe that is the game, ladies and gentlemen. So if you enjoyed that, make sure you rate, comment, subscribe. My channel will be in the description. His will be if I can find it, and do your things. So rate, comment, sub, and I will see you guys later. Peace.